Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. For today's layouts, I say plural, I am going to be using the Fresh Paint collection. Now, I've been trying to think of should I just do something that's creative and out of the box with this first collection that I have from Close to My Heart? Or, this is what I'm thinking, follow these instructional guides so that you can see how this kit can be utilized. What I was reading, because I went through this whole packet that is in the kit when you saw me unbox this, and it gives you the instructions to make all of these layouts. Now, when I look at them though, do I feel like all of the contents do get used up? And I do think they do. So I kind of think that this is like genius for anyone especially new to scrapbooking and you don't want to buy a lot of supplies because you're not quite sure how much to buy or what works with what. This is almost like a great way to do it. Now, don't get me wrong too, like Hip Kit Club, Click Kits, all of these also have kits in a similar manner, but I've never really seen them come with like an instructional booklet for you to kind of use all of its content in its entirety. There's nothing wrong with that way, because that's also what I like, because I have bought them and you've seen me try them out a little bit. But sometimes when your creativity is how do I say, like when your creativity is like either not flowing as easily, and I know I almost sit at my desk some days wasting time procrastinating because I look at this pattern paper, for instance, and I'm like, okay, what can I use? What can I use in addition to this that I have in my collection? How should I use it? Should I cut it up? Should I save it for a die cut? Should I use it as so? I mean, these are the things that go through my head at least right before I'm about to start, and then I never start. And so another day goes by, and so hence this is still sitting here even for me. And I'm like, you know what? If I just kind of follow this, and not to say that it's basic in any way, but I was like, I do love this double page spread, and I can fill all of these pictures in with pictures of Valentina and home. What I like what they did here too is that in essence, it's Roy G. Biv, but they try to get pictures with like a yellow on the yellow part and then, you know, orange and orange, red on red sort of thing. I think what I'm going to do is use a lot of black and white photos. So I have printed them. And it says everyday awesome. And so they're just there's pictures from my camera that I have right now that are just kind of like our everyday life. So I was like, I can definitely do this layout. Then from the other choices too, I definitely want to use the cutout wings, and they're a pretty good cardstock. Like, this is great. So I really want to make this layout as well. So I printed this photo thinking that with the wings, that could be kind of mamma jamma awesome, because this is great. And so it kind of takes that guesswork out, not the guesswork, but a little bit of that creativity out, because I'm not thinking of it all on my own. But what a great place to start. And like I said, I just think it's great. These as well, because I want to definitely make this one. I just haven't seen what photo I want to use, just because I don't know how else to use these pie shapes. And since it was already like spoken for like this, like I definitely want to make that one, because it uses this completely for this layout. So that is my mindset right now. Like thinking like, you know what, Ty, just recreate these, see how you like working with like an instructional manual, and this could be amazing. And I could get almost like scrapbooking done in a quicker style, because I'm just going to follow the photos and go from there. And I just did not know that Close to My Heart did this with their scrapbooking collections, and I'm loving it. So if you remember from my unboxing or my haul video, I got this one. This was like the scrapbooking kit without the page protectors, because I have so many. So if you're also brand new and you get this kit, I'm sure it comes with the exact amount of page protectors to make all 6 of these layouts, so that you already have them pages in your binders, which again, I think is genius. There are also kits with this collection, because there's like 2 stamp sets that go along with it. And I want to say also like another die cut pack that I didn't purchase just because I didn't love the stamps completely, thinking I could use them over and over again. But this I can get down with. So I'm thinking I will take you through making these 2 and this one, because I have those photos printed. And then we'll come back on another video and I'll finish up making the last 3 together, and we will have all 6 done in its entirety, and I'll have 6 whole layouts done in hopefully 2 nights, because I'm going to do these today and tomorrow. So join me if you want to know how easy scrapbooking can be with close to my heart instructional. It's called Scrapbooking Workshop. Like, love this. And I'll leave a link down below if you want to purchase this for me, because if you recall, or if you didn't know, I am now a consultant, and so I will be able to share my love for the product. He's so cute. And then you can also help support me and this channel, which I which would be appreciated. Let's get started. So these were just fantastic to make. These instructions were so detailed, even to the point of like measurements, cutting for each of the papers so that you utilize the entire sheet in some form or fashion for the layouts that they have indicated for you. So I just thought these were just fantastic, user friendly, and they packed a punch. Like, they're really, really nice. So I'm really excited to be kind of joining the close to my heart, I guess, team or consulting part, because their products really are user friendly for anyone new, and even someone like me, which I wouldn't say I was a veteran, but I've just been scrapping for a long time. I even found them to be wonderful. And it's almost like too, like darn, I only found it like right now, and I've been scrapping for this long. And don't get me wrong, like, I have heard of Close to My Heart before. I just have always used their inks. I have inks and stamp sets, and that's all I have so far. But now I'm like totally in love with the product. So here I am making the one that was with the wings, with this ombre wing, and you just saw me add some fun foam behind it. And I'm adding fun foam behind the title too, just so that everything has a little bit more dimension. And I will mention it again later on, but I know the layout suggested another square photo, about like a 2 by 2, on the lower left corner of this one. So I just haven't found the photo that I want to use for it. So I might have to like come back and like add one more. But in the close-up shots, you will see the photo that I chose, and it was just me and Valentina. So really, my journaling will be about just like us as a family. Really simple story for this one, and I love how colorful, bold, and just delicious that one was. So, like I said, I had cut these two. So they cut the pattern paper to like, the photos are 3 by 4. So the papers were cut to 3 and I want to say a quarter for all of them. So that way you don't have to trim your photo down. The mat will already be enough to see a little colorful ridge around it. So I love that aspect. These two cardstocks already had like paint splatter speckles on them, which I loved as well. And it did go into telling you about mixed media and how to grab some packaging. I do believe they wanted you to use the coordinating ink colors if you already had them in your collection, and adding water. That way they become a little bit more watercolor. But I just decided to take my oxide inks in, I think I did squeezed lemonade, carved pumpkin, and then it was what's my red one? Candy apple. So those are the colors that I did. And that way it had that splatter watercolor look. But what you see that I did is that I did it on both pages, because the instructions only showed it on one and then some black splatter on the other. And I just didn't care for the black splatter. So I did modify this to my likings right now. And I think it turned out really well as well. So there is room for creativity, if you're willing to take it. Now, if I just had a nice green, I don't have like a primary green color nor that royal blue, I would have done all the colors, but I definitely had the red, orange, and yellow, which is most important for this layout. And then everything is else here, for as far as the stickers, I followed to the instructions. And I love that it made it very tone on tone. So the yellow pieces were on yellow, orange on orange, red on red, etc., which really makes this layout as well pack a punch. This is just fantastic. Now, don't get me wrong, as a layout in general, I find it to be simple in nature. I mean, it's 4 3 by 4 photos, which I could do with any paper collection, but I think sometimes we get so hung up on like the perfect picture, or if what size to make them. And so I just got to keep it in mind that sometimes the simplest layouts can be the most impactful, is what I learned after following these instructions to get these done. Love all of them. Love that they intentionally have you journal as well, even though in my still shots I haven't done it just yet. But like I said, if you're a newbie, this is fantastic to start. keeps your collection, use your stash, and a whole kit that works together. And if you're someone like me, it's a good way to go back to your roots on how to scrapbook. And I just loved this whole process. Love the way these turned out, everyone. I modified it just a little bit because if you saw on the page, it had some like black splattering here. And I didn't want to do it only because I also didn't like the little skateboard and the flame. Doesn't work for me. But everything else, so you saw I added more of the splatters and added red, and I did it on this side too because it wasn't here. And it was simple packaging technique. This came out so good. I'm so happy I followed the workshop instructions. I do have to add my journaling here, but this is the most colorful rainbow spread ever, and I love it. This was the other one, and I'm just putting this one on pause because I still need to find a picture that will go in that corner. And I have to add my journaling too. So other than that, this one's complete. I just don't have another picture from this day. And why I'm modifying it too, because this seems to be like a double spread as well. But I took no other pictures other than this one on this event. So I don't have other pictures to scrap to be the companion sheet. But I thought if I could find another good one of me and Miguel, I can write journaling on how I love us as partners. And once again, loved utilizing these wings. Such a statement layout, and I'm so happy to put this in my albums for us. So cute. Till next time. So I will leave the links to everything down below. It is the Fresh Paint collection from Close to My Heart. And if you want to snag one, I highly encourage you because this was so fun to create.